I'd like to call this meeting of the Manchester City Council to order. I am Mayor Pro Tem, Mary Ann Pointer. Connie Bankin, who's our mayor, has an excused absence tonight. So I will be running the meeting. So just so that everybody understands what my responsibilities are. First of all, I will run the meeting for Connie. And the second thing is I also hold my position as a council person, which means I am allowed to vote. I'm allowed to make motions and I'm allowed to second motions and so on. So it's just that I'm adding on Connie's part to my part. So just so you know where we're at. Please stand and let's do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Aaron, would you please do the roll call?
Sure. Councilmember Dittrich.
Here.
Councilmember Pointer.
Here.
Councilmember Sherburne.
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Here.
Councilmember Gray.
Here.
First thing we need is an approval of the agenda. Tim, do you have anything that you need to change?
The only change we have is, as we talked about, we can do that when we get to agenda item number 3.3, and that's removal of the airport committee notes. We don't have those attached, so we're not approving those tonight. Other than that, I don't have any other amendments.
So do we do it as,
No, just
okay, so I need a motion, please, to approve the agenda.
I so move.
I'll second that.
Okay, Linda,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes.
Okay,
Mary Ann,
yes.
and we have to vote.
Oh, I have to vote too. Yes, thank you. I'll forget to do that. You'll have to remind me. Okay, the next thing we have is public input. For our public input, if you'd like to speak, please state your name and your address for the record and proceed with your comments. We'd like you to stand at the podium here so that everyone can see you and hear you. Individual remarks are limited to 5 minutes with the overall public input period limited to 30 minutes. Under public input period, whoops, I'm in the wrong spot. Under Iowa Open Meetings Law, the city council can take no formal action to comments given during the public input which do not relate to action items on the agenda. Is there anyone that would like to speak?
Hello.
You will have a chance to talk later
Oh.
about if that's what you want to say.
Perfect,
Actually, she will. Yes, she will. I'm
All
sorry.
right,
I-
it was just, yeah.
I'm just making an assumption, Julie, and I should not make the assumption, but we will give you a chance to talk to us and explain what you're doing. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Donna Boss, Delaware County Economic Development, 200 East Main here in Manchester. I just wanted to thank the council for bringing the Grand Avenue project back to the agenda at the last meeting. Again, this is going to be a great project, the economic vitality of the Delaware County Fairgrounds and partners, the 8-inch water main going up into that neighborhood along with the walking trail for the basically the Safe Routes to School program that will happen. So again, I just wanted to publicly come and say thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
I'm Jackie Sherman, 308 South Wayne Street, Manchester. I just wanted to first of all thank the council for, I think Councilman Schmidt was in favor of bringing it. So the council was broadcast so people could review what was discussed at the council meetings. The only suggestion I would highly recommend is when you do vote in favor or vote against, vote no. If you're voting no against something, I think as a taxpayer, I would like to know why an individual is voting no on a certain subject. In reviewing some of the previous council meetings, councilmen have voted no without an explanation. And I think as a taxpayer, it would be nice if we would understand why they are voting no on a certain topic. So that's just my request. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's close that section and move on to the consent agenda. I know that in one of the sections, which is 3.3, we need to drop out of that the airport committee report because it did not get attached. We will see that the next time. Other than that, I think everything else is correct in the consent agenda. So we can go ahead with it. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to look at is approval of the minutes from the February 12th regular council meeting and also the minutes of the February 19th city council budget work session. Our next thing is the resolution approving the bills. We need to acknowledge receipt of city reports and minutes. Our reports, the first one was from the Manchester Police Department, it was their annual report. I encourage you to read it if you have not, because it's interesting reading. I think it's great to see what our police are doing. Chad Wright, our captain, wrote it, and we really appreciate his work on that. We have the Park and Rec minutes from their last meeting and also the Board of Adjustments last meeting. And both of those two things, kind of their major things in them, we will be talking about later in the meeting, so you'll hear about those. Our next thing on the consent agenda is liquor license applications. We have one from Blue Collar and also from Walmart. We have a motion to set March 25th at 5 p.m. as the date and time for a public hearing on the voluntary annexation application of Camiller. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Thank you. Tree Service LLC for the property at 1672 220th Street.
We have this on last agenda. There are very specific timeframes in getting things published, and I missed the publication deadline, so I just need to have it bumped 2 weeks.
Resolution 28 is a resolution approving the lease agreement with Todd Brooks and Frank McEnany. And for those of you that don't have tablets in front of you, basically what this is the city bought out floodland at 365 South Tama and also at 301 and 303 Vine Street. We've set up an agreement with these two gentlemen that basically they take care of the property. They do the mowing, they do the shoveling. They pay us $1 a year. And for that, they have the rights to use that property kind of like their own. They can park on it. They could have a picnic on it, something like that. We do say that they cannot camp on it. 3.7 is a resolution amending a salary resolution. And this is for a police officer who has completed 2 years with us. This is Dylan Sainer.
Sonar.
3.8 is a resolution approving the airport hangar lease. This hangar lease goes to Georgian Classic Aviation. It's for the remaining T hangar that we have on the east side of the runway, and we will be charging them $500 annually for that. 3.9, this is to approve a quote for the safety padding at the Aquatic Center. Doug Foley, our Park and Rec person, is asking us to accept the bid from Aqua Shield Products LLC. It's in the amount of $12,550. And this is basically what was talked about in the Park and Rec meeting that they had. And they approved also this purchase. 3.10 is a review of the discussion Board of Adjustment. And what this is the First Lutheran Church has applied for a conditional use permit for a 30 square foot electronic sign. And the Board of Adjustment met with them and has approved that request. So those are the things in our consent agenda. Do any of you have any questions or anything you'd like to talk about at this time? Bill, Joe?
As far as the airport hangar, $500, the normal, or has it gone up or down?
It's gone up over, when I first started here, it was $300. It's gone up to $500. They own the hangar, they built the hangar or purchased it, whatever it is. We just own the land underneath of it, so.
That answer your question? Anything else? Linda, did you have any questions? Brian, any questions? I have no questions. So, may I have it
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
in a second, please?
And I will second
Okay. Bill,
Yes.
Joe,
it. Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and I vote yes also. Okay, we have no items then that we are going to remove from the consent agenda. We have no public hearings tonight, So we're ready to move on to our regular agenda items. The first thing that we have in the regular agenda items is the Manchester Vitality Endowment Fund Committee is asking to place hangers on the flower baskets in the downtown again. And I believe now, Julie, would be the perfect time for you to talk to us.
Thank you so much. I'm Julie Frick. I live at 18407 2024 Street outside of Manchester. I'm part of the Manchester Vitality Endowment. Last year, we did the flower baskets downtown in partnership with the city and with Exile Special Trailers. They had designed and created the brackets that we used for the hanging baskets and donated all the labor and materials for that. And then with the city, we had procured the flowers. We tried to get those locally, but none of the people in Manchester were interested in bidding on doing those flowers. So we contracted with a gentleman up in Spillville. He's doing them again. He does them for a lot of the cities in Northeast Iowa. The price for us is gonna be about the same as it was last year, $1 more, so $46 a basket. I think, the partnership we had with the city last year is that through the summer hiring program, they hired 2 people to water the flowers. They do need to be watered and fertilized daily. And on the days when it's really warm, they may need to be watered in the afternoon. So we'd like the city to continue with that agreement for this year. Last year, we put up the flowers at Memorial Day and took them down Labor Day. There was quite a bit of conversation about taking them down early, so we would like to leave them up later in the year if that works with the staff. Any
Do you
questions?
have any questions for Julie?
I do. When will you put them up? That would depend on the staff. And when we, last year we did it like, Memorial Day weekend, because I think that's when the hiring was effective, but we can put them up anytime, from Mother's Day on. It wouldn't be any sooner than that though, because of the weather. And last year, the cost was just over $10,000, so it was, just over $5,000 for Manchester Vitality and for the city each for that partnership.
I know a lot of people, as you said, were kind of sad that they came down.
Yeah.
I have a lot of customers that come into our store and thought they were absolutely beautiful. And it was sad to see him come down.
And the-
And weather plays a little issue in there, and I agree too, but yeah, I think if they stay up, I had nothing but great compliments.
yeah, and the
My
flower.
wife wished she would come up and do her flowers. They don't look near that. good.
Yeah, so when they took them down, they put them all at the compost pile and they were all gone by noon. So they never come and got the flowers because they were still in great shape, yeah. Yeah, so that's why we like to leave them up longer. I think a lot of cities leave them up till the end of September. Okay,
Any other questions?
Well, I would like to see him go back up.
thank you.
I don't know, do you need a motion on that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'll make a motion that they go back up.
And we will pay for half of the.
Half of what we did last year.
I'll second.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bill,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
I vote yes. Joe,
Yes.
thank you. The next thing we have is Melissa Lindsay from the Delaware County Sexual Assault Response Team. Melissa, can you come up and explain what you'd like to do?
Sure. My name is Melissa Lindsay. Do you need my address?
Yes, please.
Okay, 136 West Union. So I am, one of the sexual assault awareness, or one of the sexual assault nurses at RMC. And, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So what we would like to do is we're gonna go around to local businesses and ask if they will change some of their lights for at nighttime, if they'll make them the teal color, which is the color for the Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But we would like to, purchase, like teal rope lights and light up Marion Street Bridge. We just need the okay for that. We'll pay for the lights and all of that, and we'll have volunteers out, like putting them on and things like that.
Okay, here's my question to
Okay,
you.
yes.
Do we have lighting out there? I mean, do we have electricity out there that is something they can plug into? Or are you planning on using battery?
Whatever we need to do.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. We have lights out there, but I wasn't sure if we had.
It'd be a
Any
long
place-
extension cord potentially.
Yes, it would have cleared to Tim's house.
I would have to, look with our street superintendent. I know we put a couple boxes in Shelley Park when we redid that, but I'm not sure if we got one on the other side of the trail.
I think it's a great idea. I would love to see us support this if we possibly can.
And I'm thinking this is just on one side of the bridge, the north side,
Yeah, probably,
because that's a long, 300-foot long
Yeah.
bridge. It's a lot of lakes to
yeah.
stretch out.
But, and we're hoping to, like, so it's every year it's in April, so we're hoping to, like, make this a yearly thing. Last year we did a fundraiser for T-shirts and things like that, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Can I ask a question or is that inappropriate?
Go ahead.
So with Manchester Vitality, lighting the bridges is something we've been talking about as well, and to talk about with Tim. And I know there's plans to do some work on the West Marion Bridge. But I think we'd be interested in partnering with you. We talked about getting lights that we can change the colors on.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like teal would be one of those
Right.
options. So I'll get with you before we leave, but I know Tim and I talked about that.
Okay.
So, yeah, so
Yeah.
I think there's something that we.
Wonderful, that would be fantastic, yes, thank you.
Boy, do we help or what?
Right.
That's great. Any other questions?
If the council's in favor, the staff will look at it and try to get things lined up, and we'll have a response to you next week, or the next meeting.
I'm a yes.
I like the idea of it. I can talk to Tim a little bit. I don't know what it would cost down the road, but when we have to do Marion Street bridge, there's a bridge over in Rockford, Illinois, I brought up with you that they lit up. And it was different colors, if I remember correctly, when I was riding the rails, but I don't know what it would cost or what it would take to do that, but I think the Marion Street Bridge could be able to light up more than just this, different.
Yeah. And if we don't
Awareness
want to
months and
take
stuff like
like
that.
October is the breast cancer, that
Yeah.
pink, like all of that.
Joe, where was that bridge?
Rockford, Illinois,
Thank you.
Yeah.
beautiful. Town's not that pretty, but I'm 100% for it.
Not near as nice as Manchester.
No, Manchester.
So this is something you have.
Especially with the flowers.
Really nice.
Brian?
Yeah.
I think we all would
Okay.
agree that we would
We'll
like you to
get
look
back
into
you
it.
what we need, what we can do.
All right, sounds good.
Melissa, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So do we need a motion?
Not
No,
right now, because I gotta figure out what we need. Let me find out what we need,
Okay.
and I'll come back to you. How we can get this done.
I don't know if you need to come back to us, Tim. You need to go to her.
I'll let everybody know what needs to happen.
Thank you.
okay. The next thing we need to look at is we need to approve the sale of our 2012 Freightliner sander / plow truck to the city of Greenfield, Iowa for $56,555. Personally, I think we're fools not to accept this bid because we asked for a minimum bid of $20,000 and they offered us 56. I'm saying we do.
It's a nice truck.
It is a very nice. thing.
But it'll be a nicer truck for them and we have 36,000 extra dollars to buy something else.
It's a bid system, but they got the high bid.
So
They're very excited for the truck.
I bet.
Council approves it.
I'm pleased for them that it's something they can use. Very small town, I believe, so
I
I'm glad
was,
that they were able to get it.
yeah, I was extremely impressed with the way that turned out.
So do we need a motion to do
It
this?
motion accepted.
I'll make a motion to accept that bid.
I'll second
Okay, so, Joe,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Linda. Yes. I vote yes. Bill.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next thing we need is, Resolution 31, which is a resolution approving the contract and performance and or payment bonds for the 2024 street improvement project with Top Grade. They came in with our low bid for this project. It came in at $1,344,449.
So this is just procedural part of the process. We awarded the contract at the last meeting. The next step then is to approve the actual contract form.
So I will need a motion in a second, please.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I'll second that.
Anyone like to discuss it?
I had a couple questions about it. The late start means they can't start any later than May 5th or May
No.
6th.
They can't, they have to start before then.
Right, so that's prior to May 6th.
Yep.
Okay. Do they have an idea of when they'd be done?
That would be for him.
There are working days in contract, but I think our working days, if they start on May 6th, would be late. They're starting a project in Strawberry next week, and they want to come to Manchester after that, which would likely be around the first week of April.
Yeah, we'll have a better idea what the timeline is once we have a pre-construction meeting.
I was just reading through and I couldn't find all that
Anything else? Bill,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Brian?
We got the same.
Is this?
Yeah, this is on East Main Street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're abstaining? Okay, I vote yes.
Yes.
Yes, outside. Okay, so passes. Okay, our next thing up is Resolution 32, a resolution approving contract and performance and or payment bond for Grant Avenue Extension Project. This one with Pierce Turner. And they bid $775,119.50. And again, this is basically the same thing we just did with the East Main Street project. Any questions on it, first of all? Okay, I need a motion in a second, please.
I will make the motion to accept.
I'll second it. Joe,
Yes.
I vote yes. Linda, no. Brian,
No.
and Bill.
Yes.
Passes. The next thing we have is we need a motion to approve the second consideration and adoption of ordinance 1. This is an ordinance amending the code of ordinances for the city of Manchester by amending chapter 165, section 26, landscape and screening standards. Tim, do you want to speak to this for a second?
Again, as we talked about at the last city council meeting, this is for new construction, new residential subdivisions, requiring them to plant a tree with the development of the lot. Trying to again repopulate the forest in the city, get some of the trees back in. We've taken out quite a few ash trees. I know there are a lot more ash trees in backyards and front yards that will be coming down in the next 7 years. Trying to encourage people to bring them back, bring trees back because they do add more to the community. Type of shade we're talking about, everyone talks about going down Union Street, the tree lined streets and how that canopy was, so we really want to encourage that to come back.
I'll make a motion, yes. Proceed.
I'll second it.
Anything anyone would like to talk about? Okay, Bill,
Yes.
Joe?
Did you win?
No, I just was gonna say, I think it's amazing to do this. I've seen pictures of what Manchester was before my time and it was so gorgeous with all the trees. So to bring it back would be amazing.
Joe?
Yes.
I vote yes. Linda,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and that is the end of that. Okay, we need construction project updates. Jason, you were here first.
Really nothing other than preliminary conversations with Pierce Tobin is that they're unlikely to begin work with theirs after the fair. So they have plenty of time to get it done at that point, but they wanted to avoid any potential conflict with the fair in July, so we'll be looking to start right after that grant. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Jason. Brian?
Just a couple of things tonight, East Main Street, as I mentioned, we had a pre-con of Top Grade for their first project here in Strawberry. They plan to be here after that, so we tentatively anticipate first week or so of April, they'll plan to start. We'll talk to them tomorrow, as far as scheduling the pre-con, probably gonna be around the 13th. On that, we do have a couple utilities that need to move, so they were reminded again. We're getting a little more communication from them. It's been a pretty nice winter, so we expect them to get going. You know, let them know that if they're in the way when Top Grade comes, they are financially responsible for any cost on that. And then Perry's been following up on a couple of easements. I think we have meetings scheduled tomorrow on those, so everything's in the right direction there. At the last meeting, there was a question about West Main Street Bridge. The next inspection is due May of 25, so it's a year out here. And then, that does remain on the funding list, so we'll have lights to the discussion on that.
Yeah.
And then just note today, Tim and I met with Iowa Flood Coalition, had a kickoff meeting as far as, future planning on how to address flooding in the community. So, went very well.
Thanks, Rand.
Question real quick.
Yeah.
What utility companies are you?
Winster Mass do a bore, so there's two poles up by one in front of Brian's business and across the street by Baldwin. There's an overhead line that runs all the way over to the co-op there. And then there's one cable line that really runs to Greaves House that has to come down so light can pull all the poles.
Gotcha. Okay, thank
We're
you.
in condition on board here.
Thanks, Brian. Jim,
I have nothing to see.
Jim,
Just a reminder, next Monday night, we do have a committee of the whole meeting. And we're gonna mix in a little bit of a budget work session to finalize everything we have. Because Tuesday, the county auditor would really appreciate us getting our numbers over to her. We're down to just the final things. Erin handed out the budget worksheets. There really shouldn't be any surprises or changes from what we talked about before. As Ryan mentioned, we met the Flood Coalition group cohorts. Three of the group came from Washington DC area. Flew into Cedar Rapids today, drove up. I told them that don't get used to this. This is not how Iowa Februarys are. But I do appreciate them bringing the weather with them. We are looking at different ways to do a comprehensive flood study within the community. And within that comprehensive flood study, we want to identify projects that will benefit our community as far as trying to lower the base flood elevation, trying to protect existing housing, because we do have some of our older homes that are the affordable homes that are inside the flood plain area that we want to protect it and try to relieve some pressure from them. The question comes down to is which federal program fits best, whether it's FEMA's hazard mitigation program or their BRIC program, or working with the Army Corps of Engineers to do the study. Because both federal agencies offer something, but they are different in how they implement it and what the cost is. So this group will allow us to have a better understanding which way to go. They're trying to condense some of the complications that we have in federal programming down so we can get that done, especially for smaller communities like ourselves. So I'm getting excited about being able to move forward with this.
yeah, thank you. Anything else?
Just March 6th, we do have the meeting in Des Moines, Iowa League of Cities. If you're interested in going, please let me know so I can get you signed up. Right now, I'm Mary Ann, the mayor, and myself. Joe is the day-to-day, as I understand it. If anyone else is interested in attending, please let me know.
Kind of day to day too.
Okay. So it starts, we'll try to get down there at 8:30 in the morning, to meet with, get signed in, with some refreshments, and then, that'll run at the, I think it's the NBC Suites, for the first part till about 1:30, and then we go up to the Capitol for a meet and greet up there, so.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Erin,
Nothing.
Brian.
Nothing.
Linda. Nothing. Joe.
No,
Bill.
One thing real quick, and I'm just asking. I had a very dear friend of mine call me from Waverly, our pool is opening this year, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Apparently their pool might not be opening because of some very bad issues they have. With their pool. I didn't know.
They're having some maintenance issues with the pool is my understanding, and there are some excessive costs. I also understand they are under some budget pressures.
Excessive, I mean, I heard, he said it was gonna be tremendous to try to even put a Band-Aid back on it, so. He's.
It's an older pool they were looking at replacing. They just haven't got to that point yet.
So, no, that's all I've got.
Okay, I have nothing. So at this point, we need to move into closed session. Mr. Peters, is this an appropriate time for us to go into closed session?
But we have, it's appropriate to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation, which we have. And we could entertain and be ready for a motion at this point.
Okay, so we are discussing strategy with counsel in matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the government body in that litigation. So I need someone to make a motion that they would like to go into closed session.
I move that we go into closed session.
And second,
I'll second you.
Linda,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
I vote yes. Joe,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. Sorry, I was going to throw you out now.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back in open session and it is 6:01 and I am looking for a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Bill and
Yes.
Linda. Thank you. We are adjourned.
This video thing, which makes me think